Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm so glad you are here with us today, and I hope that your day is so blessed so far. We are going to spend some time today learning about Victor Vasarely. Victor Vasarely had this incredible skill to make two-dimensional objects 3D. So we're going to practice a little bit with that today and just have some fun sketching. So let's go ahead and get started. I want you guys to start by warming up your minds and your bodies and your spaces, making sure that you're really ready to get going with our lesson today. So I want you to take the next 3 minutes and I simply want you to sketch a cube. Now you may be like, I don't know how to draw a cube. Try it out. Just see what you can create. If you need to look at something that's a cube around you, try to imagine how you can create that on a flat surface like your paper. Okay, so take 3 minutes. Go ahead. All right, my friends. Now, if you need a few more minutes, if you need some more time to work on that, that's okay. Just go ahead and pause and we will continue in a moment. But I want us to really get into our artist. Okay, this is a painting by Victor Vasarely, and I want to spend some moments really just studying it. I think it's important that we study the artist and spend some time looking. All right. So I want you to take the next minute to just look. Look at those details, look at the colors, and find that optical illusion. Go ahead. Let's look. All right, what are some of these things that you guys are seeing? What illusions? I know I'm seeing how we have the darks and the lights around our image. We can really see how some of the areas look like they're going in, some look like they're popping out. This flat set of image of squares really is and diamonds, right, are looking like they're 3 dimensions. And it almost seems also that they change the more you look at it, right? They change. They're kind of like, um, sometimes it looks like it's hidden behind, sometimes it's on top. It's fascinating. So some of the things that I really want us to focus on is this idea of op art. That's what we would call this. This is op art, and it creates an illusion. So how does it do that? All right, so Vasarely's style is called op art. He uses color, line, and shape to create an optical illusion. Optical illusion causes the viewer to have a shift in perception, seeing a picture first one way and then another. As I'm sure as you guys were looking at it, you could see it was just changing constantly, right? There is no object in the picture. Okay, that's important to think about. It's a design. All right. So, which side is the top of the cube? Right? That's a question that we can look. Which side would you consider the top? Well, what I want you to see here is that the light colors on these cubes appear to project or pop out. At first, the lightest face seems to be on top, but it can move. Depending on where the light is coming from, the surface can appear to face different directions. Because the light source is different on each cube, it's really kind of hard to tell which face is the top. Those dark colors, and this is a great rule for our art itself, dark colors can actually appear to recede. Okay, so a dark surface is easier to see as the shadowy bottom of a surface of the cube. But the black squares sometimes seem like they're the top of the box as well. All right, isn't that fascinating? I just love that. And I love to look at things and really spend time looking at art. It's so important. All right. So here is an image. Here is our artist, Mr. Victor Vasarely. He lived from 1908 to 1997, and he was actually born in Hungary. He used geometric shapes and analogous colors to create optical illusions. All right. He led the op art style, which is based on the brain's perception of color and pattern. So, if this is a style of art that is intriguing to you, I encourage you to dive into it, really look at some different examples, and discover what you can create in the op art style using Vasarely as our inspiration. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create those optical illusions with our sketch time, and then moving in our next step into an actual piece of art inspired by Victor Vasarely. All right, let's create, friends. All right, friends, let's go ahead and sketch. You're going to need a ruler or a straight edge, even a piece of paper works, and a pencil. We're gonna, we'll need an eraser too. I don't have an eraser on my pencil, so I use this fun kneaded eraser. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice drawing a cube, which is a square that pops out, right? It's a 3-dimensional object. So what we're gonna do is start by, we're just gonna maybe do, I'm gonna use the middle of my ruler just because it's easier. This is an extremely long ruler. All right. And so we're just going to start by making a cube that's just about 2 inches. All right. So anywhere on your paper, go ahead and draw a 2-inch line. All right. And then you're going to do the same 2 inches, trying to get that as perpendicular or squared as possible. So 2 inches. All right. I like to go all the way around my shape because I can use the other lines to help me in my measurement. All right, so I can line it up at the top and find my 2 inches. And then once again, I can now line it up. I like to use one of my full inch marks. Line it up. You see that's 2 inches. It looks about equal over here. So they don't have to be perfectly straight, but it helps to get it as close as possible. If you have a smaller ruler, it also helps. Sorry, I have something in the way over here. You can use the edges. So you can use the edge of your lines. This one has a little bit of a lip, so I would need to make sure that I'm measuring in the same amount each time. But you see how this lines up along the side of my ruler? And even here lines up along my ruler, so it can help you get a square. All right, so once you have a square, we now need to make it pop out. So you're gonna do another 2-inch square, but you're gonna kind of make it off-centered somewhere, off the corner of one of these sides. So maybe I do, I'm gonna start at the top because that makes it easier for my brain. I'm just finding my 2. It doesn't matter exactly where you put it, just as long as it's still squared. All right. So once again, I'm gonna line that up. I'm using any other lines I have to help me. I could go over here and do this line. It's a little tricky because then you gotta make sure you're exactly square, and we'll see how good I did on that one. Hey, that's pretty close. All right, so now I have 2 squares kind of stacked on each other. And now all we're gonna do is connect all of the corners. So these 2 bottom corners get connected like so. And these 2 corners up here get connected. These 2 corners get connected. And then these 2 corners get connected. All right. Now, you can look at this in a lot of different directions in a lot of different ways. So figure out what makes sense to you on yours. And what you're going to do next is simply erase the lines that are on the back of your cube here. Okay, so for example, this line right here, I could erase because I see that this square that I drew in front looks like it's in front. All right, and if you need to go over it if you need to cross over one of those lines to kind of get that erased, you can. And then you can just sketch it back in. All right, so it helps to kind of look at it from a different perspective. And sometimes this could be an open box. You see how it looks like it's open up there? Okay, maybe you need to do a little bit of shading work. Okay, so sometimes if you shade it like this, it kind of helps you see the different areas, okay, of your box. Or if you were to color them in different ways, that could also help. You see that? So now I have a box. If you want it to be an entire cube that does not have an opening, you would erase this one. All right. And then you could shade this top square so that you could see your whole box. See how just like scribbling it in, kind of shading it in helps you see that perspective. Now, you can try to freehand a square in the same way, okay? So if I wanted to draw a box, I might just try to freehand it, okay? It's the same process. All right, and then this one, I might erase these lines and get those sketch lines back in there. All right, so now that's a cube in a different direction, but it's the same sort of way. So feel free practicing different cubes. You could even, this is the bottom of the box. The side might not be as dark, and then the front of your box. All right, so practice drawing some different cubes. It helps kind of see them in different directions and different areas. All right, so I hope you guys had a good time with that.